Before Muhammad Ali became the household name that he is now, he was once 12-year-old Cassius Clay Jr. And this week you can see his younger years portrayed on the stage here in Seattle. Seattle's Children's Theater doing a play called And in This Corner, Cassius Clay. And this morning I'm joined by the actor who's playing the role of Cassius Clay. This is Andre G. Brown. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us
going,
on the show here. You know, it's just so amazing. Before he became Muhammad Ali, before he became the greatest of all time, I mean, he was just a kid. He was just a kid like anybody else, and it must have been fascinating for you as an actor to get in that and try to understand what it was that made this guy understand who he was at such a young age, you know?
Yeah, I think like he was just a gift, just a young kid that was known for being fast. I mean, a lot of the scenes that we have in the play, I say, I'm so fast, can't nobody hit me, you know? And so he would actually dare people to throw rocks at him. His little brother, Rudy, well, at the time his name was Rudy. And so he would just dare him to throw rocks at him. He would run after the school bus. And I was listening to a podcast earlier, and they said that actually he wasn't trying to race the school bus. He just literally wanted he wanted to be the star. He wanted all the kids on the bus, because it was a city bus. He wanted all the kids on the bus to see him, to love him, to make people laugh. And so what you were seeing was like the beginning of him wanting to be a star.
Yeah, you know? and he certainly became one. He became one as Cassius Clay. We just saw the pictures of him as an Olympic champ, and there he is, you know, probably about age 12 or so.
Right.
What do you know about his background as a fighter?
As a fighter, someone stole his bike. At 12 years old, he went to a black expo, and so him and his friends, and so they stole his bike. It was a brand new red Schwinn. You'll see that in the play. And he saw an officer, Joe Martin. He said, "Officer, you know, please, you know, I need your help." Officer said, if you can find my bike, whoever stole it, I'm gonna whoop him. And so the officer said, "Can you really fight?" And he said, "No." He said, "What do you mean?" And the officer said, you know, "We'll come to the boxing gym," because Joe Martin at the time was kind of running the boxing gym, and it was full of cops. And in fact, Joe Martin in that time in Louisville really had integrated the boxing gym. Mm-hmm. So that's where Cassius Clay started training. Okay, so at 12.
So where does Cassius Clay I mean, what's inside of Cassius Clay that became Muhammad Ali, that took the stand that he did, the conscientious objection of the Vietnam War, to become the champion, to publicly proclaim that he was the greatest of all time, and then become that?
Yeah, I think he just had a strong connection. Not I think, but just from the research I've done, is he had a strong connection to his faith. And prior to, you know, his mother and his father, they didn't switch from being Baptist to, like, you know, Muslim. However, his mother, Odessa Clay, had a really strong faith, and he saw that, and he really. That's why I started out by saying he was a gift, because something inside of him, sometimes we just have these kind of things inside of us that tell us who we are. And he even has a quote, you know, "I said I was the greatest even before I knew that was possible." And so he kind of just...
He knew the secret.
Yeah.
Going in.
But I believe his secret was faith, and just kind of people. I mean, you can, just like you were telling me a story earlier, just about seeing him in the airport.
Yeah.
And it's like he just was able to connect with, like, the heart of people. And there's, you know, what can you say about that?
For you playing this role, that had to have been challenging. You don't have a boxing background, right? Okay, so what kind of training did you have to do to become Cassius?
I started going. Actually, I live in the Central District, and Seattle Children's Theater hooked me up with just kind of a membership to the boxing gym around the corner from me, Cappy's boxing gym. So I've been going there. I go to fitness classes there. The first couple times, I was exhausted. I believe
that. Now that is fitness with a capital F right there, my friend.
That's us at Seattle Boxing Gym.
That is awesome.
Yeah, and so the cast all together, we went to Seattle Boxing Gym with Richard and worked on some things. And, you know, and really what I learned just kind of, well, I was taking my fitness classes and trying to learn to be like a real boxer, you know?
Right.
But Ali just changed all of that,
he
right?
Sure
like
did.
Even one of the coaches I was working with, he said, "Man, he's like, to look at his form, it's terrible. You know, he kept his hands low, and you know."
Because he's trying to draw you in.
Yeah, and you know, he's doing this fancy footwork. I'll show you in the play. I will. And
it's so great to talk to you and try to get inside this fascinating character.
Oh,
and in this corner, Cassius Clay opens this week, runs through November 25th at Seattle Children's Theater. And for tickets, you can go to SCT.org. Andre G. Brown, congratulations,
hey, my man.
friend.
Thank
it's
you,
so
Bill.
good to have
it.
you here. And we're going to send it over to MJ right now.